I'm Lieutenant Matt Udelhoven with the Elgin Police Department. I've been here, I'm in my 27th year, and I'm presently the drone program coordinator for our agency. Well, basically, it was a kind of a collaborative effort between, at the time, our Commander Anna Lally, who's now our chief, and Jim Bisegli, a lieutenant at the time, is now our commander, and myself and a couple other members of the department, Kevin Snow and some other members, got together and just had meetings. And at that time, it was kind of decided that Anna and Jim were going to be kind of a hands-off approach and seek out the administrative stuff, work on getting the funding and the council approval, and kind of slow us down, if you will, because we were all very passionate about drones and wanting to get started right away. They say, hey, let's meet every month. Let's seek out policy. Let's do this right. And we were doing our research. So they were taking the hands-off approach, and I was going to basically be the program coordinator of it. Our drone program has been up and running for about 3 years, and I was flying drones for probably 3.5 to 4 years prior to that. Presently, we have 7 pilots in Elgin, and I can say all of us are very passionate about drones. In fact, the majority of us have our personal drones, so whether we're training once a month at work or if we're out flying as hobbyists, we're constantly training and sharpening our skills. Our monthly trainings, the 7 of us will get together and we will train with both of our drones. We have a DJI Phantom 4 and we have the DJI Matrice 210. And we do different applications with both of those drones. We will basically do a crash scenario or a crime scene scenario with the Phantom 4, go out and do the documentation, whether it's a traffic crash or a crime scene. We'll gather the pertinent photos and then go back into our Pix4D software and basically reconstruct or give a diagram of that crime scene or crash scene. And then we will also do search and rescue aspects with the Matrice to show, basically just to test out the zoom camera, the thermal camera on that device. And lately we've been doing like missing persons. A lot of times we'll have their cell phones with them. Their phones will ping to a certain location, latitude, longitude. We will place an object out into a forest at a certain latitude and longitude and send the drone out there to see what the drone sees, to help officers go out and locate a subject or the phone or whatever that could be. We lucked out here in Elgin that we're all very passionate about drones. The last thing you want to do is just appoint someone, hey, you're taking the drone today, or you're going to go to Part 107 school, and there's no interest. I don't see your program being as successful as it could be. You want to get those that are truly passionate and enjoy flying and want to be a part of this program. Our drone program has literally taken off the last couple of years. At first, when we made our purchase, it took some time to basically educate our own department on when we could utilize the drones. We held meetings with our supervisors. We put on a little PowerPoint presentation and explained the drones, the capabilities, and when to call us. And it was a little slow at first, but eventually supervisors started calling us out and seeing the capabilities and the success that we've had with the majority of our drone call-outs. But the important aspect, whether we find that person or not, it's you in fact are saving time and money and resources. We can send a drone out into a forest and cover a huge area in a matter of minutes that you're going to have several officers spending hours going out to. And if there's a danger aspect out there, you're increasing your personnel safety by having an eye in the sky and you're not placing a human life in danger. So that they saw the benefits of that, and they've been calling us more and more. The word has gotten out that we have a successful drone program the last couple of years, and many local agencies, municipalities have been calling us for assistance, and our administration has been very supportive of that. To go out, it's all a mutual aid aspect in law enforcement, so so-and-so may not have a drone and we do, but we trust if we need help or officers or a canine or whatever, they're going to help us. So it's all a reciprocal basis, but we've been very successful in helping other agencies with missing persons and things that they've needed us for. it's a game changer. It's been amazing. We've had, over the last couple of years, we've had quite a few calls. Sometimes are something basic, just looking for a subject, or maybe a person has dementia or Alzheimer's. On a summer night, it may not be of an urgent concern, but it's a timely concern. But in the winter and harsh temperatures, timing is of the essence. We're not going to last outside in 20 below weather if you're out walking around. The thermal has been out in those polar vortex type conditions the last couple of years, and it's proven very beneficial. We've actually saved, we have found subjects out in the woods. We've saved a life. The thermal has been amazing. And I have to stress, the drones are a tool in the toolbox, but it's a very important tool. We still need the human aspect to go out into the woods to get the body. We still have a need for our canine friends. We still have a need for all these other aspects, but it definitely is a tool that benefits all of us. Unfortunately, it's something in this day and age with your nationwide school shootings, active shooter type incidents, even Aurora, the Henry Pratt last year. We've been looking, as you know, for the last year or so about what is a good indoor drone, and we've tested several, and there's pros and cons. It's a different application to being inside. Obviously, you lose your GPS. You need bumper guards on your props, but there are some drones out there. And along with you, last month, when we've trained with the Mavic Enterprise, we trained with the Mavic Mini, which is a great indoor drone that we trained with our SWAT team up there. And just to show SWAT officers and other officers the applications that it's not just an outside tool in our toolbox, if you will, but there is a need on the inside as well. Just like I don't want to send officers into the forest with a gunman, I don't want to send officers down that hallway if someone's around that corner. If I don't have to, I can send a drone down the hall to take a look for us or to clear a room. So that's been very beneficial. I think we're going to progress with that and just keep experimenting and find the indoor drone and go on from there. Occasionally, these drones do require updates. So what we try to do is check them every week or two, and basically we have a log down in our storage facility with the drones, just to have some accountability, to check on the drones. The last thing we want to do is get a call out at 3 in the morning, get out on scene and realize we need a 20-minute update when timing is of the essence. So we're trying our best between monthly trainings and the in-between weeks or two just to check on them and update them and keep them current. At the time, although we've been up and running, or off the ground, if you will, for the last 3 years, this was about a 2-year process before we started our program. So backing up 5 years ago, there weren't many agencies that had drones. So there weren't a whole lot of comparables that we could reach out to and say, can we look at your policy? What kind of trainings do you have? So we had to kind of extend our search out more nationwide. We seeked out the IACP, the International Association of Chiefs of Police, at various websites, and looked at larger municipalities and counties in California, Texas, New York, and gathering policies and seeing what would work and what would not work in Elgin. A lot of places are along the coastline, and they had different things set up that just weren't applicable for us. But we took bits and pieces, and we found actually some fire agencies. I believe Naperville Fire Department was one of, or the first in Illinois, that we were gathering policies from various agencies and kind of chiseling away to make them applicable to Elgin to form our policy. And that was very time consuming to make a policy, and then basically we went into justifying the needs for it. In what cases or how many calls for service could we utilize a drone at any given time in the city of Elgin? And we actually partnered up with our fire department. We had meetings with our fire administration as well, who had an interest in drones, and they've actually started a drone program as well. They actually started about 6 months or so prior to us with a drone program, and they have a couple drones still to date, and we've trained with them on a couple of occasions, and we have a good partnership with them, kind of a backup system, if you will. A big part of our drones program success is the buy-in, not only to your administration, but to your local government, your city council, but more importantly, the public. From everything we read in any research, an important factor to a successful drone program is holding a public forum and gaining your public support and showing what we're going to have these drones for. You know, why do we need them, and what are we going to be utilizing them for? How will they save us time, money, resources, and basically increase personnel safety and possibly save lives to those that we're out helping? It's been extremely positive. I think we've been very transparent from the beginning. We headed off any controversy of, you know, why do the police want the drones? You know, and our fear from some of the research was when people hear the fire department needs a drone, you think for heat sources, for burning buildings, things of that nature. The police want a drone. Well, I don't want them looking in my window type thing, that, you know, any type of surveillance activity. We held a public forum over at our Elgin Rec Center, and we had maybe 35 to 40 people show up, a couple council members, our administration was there. And basically we ran through the needs justification. We partnered with our fire department and we showed why we want these drones and what they would do, the benefits for them, for the city, and for those that were out assisting. And it was very well received. And in fact, there were some drone hobbyists there, and there were some people that had some concerns and questions, but we ironed out and laid out extremely everything that we were going to be utilizing the drone for. And in fact, afterwards, we went out in the back there and flew the drones and let a council member and a couple people fly them to show, you know, the capabilities that they have and why we would utilize them. Some of the concerns at the public forum, obviously from a taxpayer perspective, is cost. What are these going to cost? Why do we need them? And what are we going to be utilizing them for? And at the time, we didn't have drones. The fire department had purchased drones. So at the time, we were sharing our fire department's drones and slowly training with the fire department drones. But basically, we dove into what's referred to in Illinois, the Freedom from Drone Surveillance Act, to explain to those at the forum why we in law enforcement would be utilizing the drones. And it's a different aspect from what the fire department would use. We have certain limitations, and we basically went over those limitations in the Surveillance Act to let the public know this is when and how we would be utilizing these drones. Freedom from Drone Surveillance Act, I believe, is only in Illinois, from what I've gathered. And basically it limits any sworn law enforcement personnel or our designee, and that's important. So you can't have your civilian personnel not be applicable to the Drone Surveillance Act. So if you work for a police agency, you are a law enforcement agency or their designee, you are bound by the Surveillance Act to fly a certain criteria with these drones. And that criteria basically is a terrorist attack, anything involving a search warrant, search and rescue aspects, missing persons, crash scenes, crime scenes, to prevent destruction of evidence, prevent imminent harm to life, and any type of natural disaster type aspect. We actually get several calls. I would say not a week goes by that we don't get a call from somewhere. We've gotten calls from Indiana, Wisconsin. The majority are Northern Illinois municipalities that I think are still in their infancy stages. They're curious, they're interested in getting a program going, and many of those agencies have come to our trainings just to see what our program is all about. What are we doing? How are we training? How many pilots do we have, and things like that, just to give them an insight. And we're more than happy to share our policy. There's no need for agencies to reinvent the wheel. If there's something we've already done, we're more than happy to share with them. I can confidently say I believe we're at the infancy of this. I think in the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to be commonplace that every agency will have a drone. As of now, no matter how small or large your agency is, officers have the radios and a taser, and possibly some take pepper ball or less lethal ammunition stuff out onto the street. I believe it'll be common. You have the drone today. Take the drone out in the car, simply because to have it out there when something strikes that we meet the criteria to fly for, it's a great tool to have. And with the technology and the need for it, I really feel every agency is going to have some sort of drone in the next 5 or so years.